So it's Assata Israel here with another daily doce dose. And I had this thought on my mind and I really wanted to share it. So like me personally, I never been the type of woman that would destroy a man's things and do all of that stuff for attention just because I'm not getting my way. Like, don't get me wrong. One of my exes, I, I, I did, when I found out he was cheating, I did hit him with a stick. Yeah, I did do that. But that was like in high school. Like, I think I was a sophomore. But then, like, after that, I learned, like, that ain't gonna make no, that ain't gonna do nothing. Like, doing all of that to a man, that's not gonna do anything. Because at the end of the day, if he cared about you, he would show it. If he cared about you, he would do those things. Like, I had got to the point, like, with my last relationship, I had got to the point where I used my words so much that even I got tired of myself. And I started to shift my perspective, and I stopped feeding more into a man than I was feeding into myself. Because these dudes that just wanna stick their thing in something, they don't care about you for real. Like, they gonna show they do for the moment until they get what they want. Then what? You gonna be out there looking stupid, throwing his clothes off a balcony, throwing them out the window, blowing up his phone, doing all of that stuff. Like, you literally holding this man up just so he can break you down. That's called stealing your energy. That is an energy vampire. Them one-sided relationships, it don't even gotta be a relationship. It could be a friendship. But those one-sided relationships, that shit is dead. Like, stop giving more to people than they give to you. Like that, life don't work like that for real. That's the bare minimum effort expecting the maximum benefits. Like, no, it don't work like that. Like, life too short to be wasting your time trying to get someone to appreciate you when you don't even appreciate yourself. Like, that's why I said I never been the type of woman that's gonna break a man's game and do all of these things. Actually, I was the type of woman that wanted to play the game with you. I just never had a dude that respected me enough to want to do that with me. Like, they always just wanted to be in their own world and not wanted to, like, it's like, that's why, like, I took a break on relationships, because, like, it's the reciprocity. Like, I ain't got no problem with you wanting to zone out and do all of that. But it's like, if you in a relationship, spend time. Like, it's more to a relationship than fucking sucking and talking. Honestly and truly. And it's like, we have to do better for ourselves, because it's like, these kids growing up, they looking at us, and how we treat ourselves is how they gonna treat themselves. And it's like, if we don't even like that, why are we showing them this lifestyle? Why are we showing them that this is acceptable? Why aren't we holding? We have to show them accountable. Why aren't we holding ourselves accountable, but we want to hold them accountable for the shit they do? They learn off of what they see, not off of what they hear at the end of the day. Like, that's what you have to be mindful of. Kids learn from their senses. Yet, like, not, yes, we go out, they learn off of what they hear as well, but if what they hearing is contradicting what they seeing, then what's the good in what you speaking? You actions speak louder than words. And it's like, that's one thing I learned. Like, if you gotta sit there and destroy a person's character in order to build yourself up, then you already lost. And it's just that simple. Like, I remember when I first started my healing journey, I poured out my heart on Facebook, on my Facebook statuses, and it wasn't for attention. it was for clarity, because I realized what God was doing was working through me. Like, at the time I didn't know it, but now I look at it like, damn, so that's what you was showing me, God? Okay, that's what I gotta do, God. Like, it ain't like I was shaming him. It ain't like I was belittling him. I was just speaking the truth. Because maybe some of the words I said touched someone else's heart and they was able to shift their perspective and see life differently. Maybe that's something I was supposed to release so that next time I see it, I can heal from it in a different way. Like, all of this stuff, this social media stuff, yes, we look at it as attention, but the key part in attention is intention. If you utilize social media with intention, it'll reward you. The universe will reward you in ways that you don't even understand. Because when you utilize social media, you using it as an influence. You gaining control over how you are influencing. That's why people are called influencers, because they have control in what they are influencing. And it's like with social media, you have that same power no matter how small or how big your account is. You really have that power to do whatever you choose to do with it. It's supposed to help you, and it's supposed to help with whoever you connect with. That's why you have to be mindful of what you are saying, because the tongue is the most powerful weapon. It's more powerful than a gun. It may sound weird, but honestly and truly, the gun is weak when it's compared to the tongue. Like, right now, I'm imagining this video I seen on Instagram where this man was holding his baby, and this other man came into the store and he was finna shoot him with the baby in his hand. That man lifted his hand up, and I looked at that, and all I could hear in my head was he praying to God. Because his words saved his life and his child's life, because that gun jammed. And he was able to get out that jam. Like, the tongue is more powerful than any weapon put in your way. I kid you not. That's why you have to be mindful of what you say and how you say the things that you say. Because you never know how your words affect people. You never know how it may, like, and that's the thing about suicide. Suicide doesn't come from one thing in a person's life. It comes from a buildup of multiple things in a person's life. Like, just like how you pull a trigger for a gun in homicide, with your words, you pulling the trigger with a gun. You pulling the trigger of your tongue into someone else's PTSD. Like, because you never know how it unlocks chemicals in their brain. Because our brains are chemical. It releases chemicals that helps us interact with the things around us. So if we get triggered by something, it's gonna send those protective chemicals to where we in our fight or flight mode. Whereas opposed to if someone triggers your nurturing aspect, because that's the thing, we are hunters and we are nurturers as well. If someone triggers your hunter senses, your spidey senses, then that's when you go into flight or fight mode. That's when you just you lose it. Like, that's when some people be feel like they black out and they lost it. It's because that triggering, it got triggered, and that's the uncontrollable part of a person. Whereas opposed to your nurturing aspect, someone can trigger the love chemicals in your brain as well, to where you have this unfathomable feeling of love. It's overwhelming, because like, just like how you can black out with your unpredictable, uncontrollable energy, you can black out in your overwhelmingly loving, nurturing energy. That's called control issues, because that's what you have. Like, you have to look at life as the things, like, it's so much, it's so deeper. But I'm gonna cut this video right now, because I feel like this is a message that's for me and God, because this is a new download that I have. This is a new perspective I haven't downloaded into my brain yet, and I really want to take the time and understand this thought so that I can communicate it clearly and not stumble over my words. Because, man, Asante Israel, to those guiding our direction. Peace and love.